Тому дякую ще раз вам.
Well, good evening, and as Boris and John have already noted, this was a very productive meeting of Ukraine Defence Contact Group. Mykhailo, again, welcome to NATO headquarters. Great to have you on board. Let me say that allies announced hundreds of millions more for Pearl, providing, as you know, more essential US equipment that Ukraine urgently needs to defend. And I want to thank the United Kingdom, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Lithuania for their contributions, and many others have announced that they are actively considering over the next couple of days and weeks additional contributions. When I was in Ukraine last week, I saw again, firsthand, the chaos and destruction that Russia continues to inflict on the people of Ukraine. And to defend itself against such attacks, Ukraine indeed urgently needs more air defense. My message to participants today was clear. Ukraine needs our support now more than ever. And we must also support the vision of Minister Fedorov when it comes to 2026 and to make Ukraine as strong as possible in the fight. And I'm urging all nations to step up their support and to share that burden. There are also many hard at work to ensure that the bloodshed stops and that there is a lasting end, a lasting peace to this war. Our continued support to Ukraine ensures they can defend today, but also will be able to deter and defend any future aggression. And we are committed to keeping this support as strong as possible, now and in the future.
Thank you very much. The first question is to Deborah Haynes, Sky News.
Thank you, Deborah Haynes, Sky News. It's a question for our Defence Secretary. The US has come very clearly with a message that, while it's not abandoning the alliance, Europe needs to be in the lead in defending this continent. And allies like Germany, the Baltics, the Nordics are clearly doing that with action. But for the UK, that timeline to hit the 5% isn't until 2035. And you haven't even yet released the defence investment plan. Are you failing to meet the moment? And if I might just ask, given the headlines in the news today, it'd be remiss not to. The Times and The Sun are reporting that the UK's ambassador to NATO has triggered a diplomatic row by moving his young Italian girlfriend into the official residence. It's the same person who in a previous role left classified documents at a bus stop. Do you still have confidence in your ambassador? And just for the Ukrainian minister, could you give a sense, please, of the effect on Russians' operations on the battlefield of this monumental move for the Starlink terminals to be switched off for the troops in Ukraine, for the Russian troops? Thank you.
First, the timeline of 5% that all 32 nations of NATO agreed last year is 2035, and the UK will meet that commitment. The UK has always met its commitments to funding NATO. The UK is putting more money into defence this year than it has done for 15 years, £270 billion in this Parliament alone. This is the largest increase since the end of the Cold War. Today is not just a question of what the UK is doing to step up our contribution to European security, but what allies are doing together. That was the discussion at NATO defence ministers this morning. It's been the discussion about the way we step up for Ukraine at the UDCG this afternoon. And on the defence investment plan, we're working flat out to complete this. This is the first time for 18 years that in the UK